Who?
Stop.
What a tough question for you.
Most underrated. Ooh.
Oh.
Most underrated.
You know, I actually think that having been at Alabama, you know, everybody always talks about the Iron Bowl. But really, the big game for a lot of our fans and players was the Alabama-Tennessee game that's going to happen tonight.
Right.
And it goes way back. And the reason for that was Coach Bear Bryant and General Neyland were so successful that it was always a big game back in the late 50s and 60s, and it became a big thing. And then the trainers started smoking cigars naked when they won the game in 1961. So that became a tradition to smoke cigars. So I really do think one of the underrated rivalries is the Tennessee-Alabama game because people don't realize how much it means internally.
Do you smoke stoves or you just chew on it?
I just chew on it.
Yeah, of course. Of course, that's cool. That's
All right,
cool.
here's the last one for everybody and stop. Better dog, Juice Kiffin, very popular on social media, or is it Ugga?
Herbie, feels like you're the dog guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is
I appreciate them keeping Peter out of this mix, out of this discussion, because he's in a different category all the time. I love Juice, but I got to go with Ugga. I got to go. Look at that face. Look at that face.
How cute that dog is. So cute. Good moxie. Dog over here, though. Dog.
Look at that guy.
No, of course they'll say it
We
about
need to
that
enter
guy.
him in a beauty contest.
Ugly dog. Think snores, drools.
It is back up, Ugga. Where's Ugga Jr.?
Ah, that's amazing. Peter is a great dog, though.
Myers squad right in the middle of the University of Georgia. The Dogs, that big home field winning streak, and chew on that bone. Get ready for the Rebels to come in. Ole Miss undefeated. Because last year, Ole Miss did what not many teams do. They manhandled the Dogs. They pushed them around. They beat them physically. Different guys. We get you. August ready to fight, even August Jr. And let's go at it.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if the arms are long enough to fight against other dogs, but I appreciate the mentality. You know,
They're ready.
yeah,
Always.
I appreciate the mentality. Zach Brown singing this song about Georgia. James Franklin joining us is wild to think about.
I know, exclusive interview, 11 o'clock hour. Don't miss that. James looking forward to talking with him. Kicking contest, field goal contest coming.
Yeah, the guy who won the raffle, Ben Guyman, he played soccer growing up and said he's been practicing. So this might be an expensive day here in Athens, Georgia.
And there's Jelly Roll, Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter. Hard-fought hallelujah to get Jelly Roll here as our guest picker.
I love that.
Delighted to have Jelly Roll. Looking forward to seeing what his picks are like. And on these hallowed grounds in South Bend, exactly 20 years ago, USC appeared invincible. They rolled into South Bend, and despite Notre Dame's decided schematic advantage, it was one of the many iconic chapters in Trojan and Irish lore, 27-game winning streak. There have been so many moments between these two. Ryan McGee has a look.
College football is bookmarked by moments. One play on one day that we talk about forever. Like 20 years ago this week in South Bend.
Reiner sneaks towards the goal line. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, USC! And the Trojans will win the ball game.
The Bush Push was merely the tip of a Trojan sword when it comes to a rivalry that began 99 years ago in the still new LA Coliseum. A 1-point Notre Dame win that Newt Rockne said was the greatest game he ever saw. Every Heisman and championship earned by these teams since has run through this contest. Parsegian and Devine versus Makai and Robinson. The comeback of '74. The Trojan horse in '77. Carney's kick in '86. Overtime in '96. All for the chance to swing that jewel shillelagh. The future of this series is in doubt, but the story of USC versus Notre Dame, those echoes shall always fight on.
Well, this Notre Dame offense has been fighting on as we look at the hot streak delivered by DoorDash. Since losing those first two, look, they were good on offense too against Texas A&M, but since week 4 of the season, 44 points a game, more than 500 yards per game. The offense has found its way. USC's defense, we're going to hear more about it a little bit later on when Nick takes us inside the film room. This Notre Dame offense, C.J. Carr's been really, really good.
Why did you guys decide this one's not going to continue? USC and Notre Dame.
Why did you guys decide it?
I really like this game.
No, this game should continue. They play next year, and there's no excuse for not playing. It's
Heap of awkward.
I mean, how do you not have USC and Notre Dame?
That's a great rivalry.
I mean, it should be played every single year.
100%.
Yeah, and this one's going to be an exciting chapter because the way these quarterbacks are playing. Jaden Iowa right now is playing as well as anybody. Lincoln Riley has an offense that's dangerous. It'll travel. Get ready for Notre Dame's defense. That'll be a great matchup. And then C.J. Carr. I know, Coach, you got to really be impressed. This team started 0-2, first-time starter, comes from a football family, obviously, and he has played so mature and with such become a real weapon. You think about them and their two backs, but this guy has a real feel. He sees things. Mike Denbrock does a great job of prepping him here. Sees the blitz, feels it, brings the tight end down. Max protect, knows he's got zero coverage, one-on-one in the back end. As long as he's protected, he can make these kind of throws. So it was the pre-snap recognition that really allowed him to make that play. And then this, you run with a linebacker on a big tight end. Look at that location of that football. I mean, it could not be thrown any better. Wow. Chance for the tight end to protect himself after that catch. He does a really good job, again, that pre-snap recognizing. Here he's in an empty set. Love motions out. Where's he going to go? Where's that matchup that he likes? Keeps the safety away, moves it back to the backside there, finds him wide open, and that was Love who kind of snuck out of the backfield. And this today could be a big factor. His starting center, Ashton Craig, is down for the year. His athleticism, it's sneaky. It's not every play. They don't build their offense around it, but it brings an element that you have to at least respect. And I think USC's defense, how do they hold up? Not against the backs, but the vertical pass game today for Notre Dame.
Well, I think the key to the drill against USC's defense is you got to control the line of scrimmage. In other words, you got to be able to run the ball and stay out of negative down and distance situations where they can pressure and take advantage, which is their strength. So therefore, if we can control the line of scrimmage, I think C.J. Carr will be in favorable situations to hit some play action passes and hit them vertically down the field and take advantage of some 50-50 balls.
Yeah, and I think Notre Dame's going to want to keep Lincoln Riley's offense with Jaden Iowa off the field. I mean, they're like number 3 scoring offense, number 2 passing offense. They got records all over the place. And last week, they might have found their running back for the year. And walk-on freshman running back, King Miller. Great. Lincoln Riley seemingly always great on the offensive side. And it's really starting to come together this year for them. Now, can the defense do its thing? Also, another little stat here. I know we love these types of things. 1,731 miles is how far Los Angeles is to South Bend, Indiana, where the Notre Dame team plays. Yeah. Lincoln Riley is 1-6 straight up whenever he travels more than 1,000 miles, and 0-7 against the spread whenever he travels more than 1,000 miles. So that's 3,462 miles of total travel. Way more than 1,000 has not been good for USC, but maybe the offense can make some plays.
Phone digging deep this week.
Yeah, that's a good one. 0-7 against the spread. When you're putting money on them, just know if that plane's flying a long time, they are not making money for you back. That is kind of how that goes.
So the plane ride affects execution as well.
Yes. Yes, the plane is the problem.
I may have to change my super dog. Anyway, when you look at USC's offense, they have a receiver, Makai Lemon, man. He's just an outstanding wideout, 5'11", 185 pounds, and he's been terrorizing defenses, especially secondaries, all season long. Let me show you what this young man has done so far. This guy is a menace to secondaries, uber competitive, plays with an edge, and he's from Southern Cal. He says playing for USC is a blessing. Let me show you what he brings to this offense. There he is right here on the bottom hash. He's going to run a go route. Now, he's going to have to bend it inside to get inside that defender over him, but he's going to go back out to the hash mark to stay away from that far side safety. But, guys, as a receiver, I tell you what, he can feel those 3 bodies around him. He knows he's about to get hit, and he still has the mental toughness and concentration to make the catch. Now, on this play right here, guys, we talk about yak. Yak can mean yards after catch. It can mean yards after contact. He's on the bottom hash again. He runs a curl route, pushes the DB, comes back to the ball. Watch how he breaks this tackle, yards after contact, makes the next man miss, yards after catch. He's one of the best in the nation at the yak. And you talk about uber competitive. This guy's a dog. Watch him right at the top of the hash mark. This is just a fade route. The DB grabs his shoulders. He fights through it and still makes the catch and snaps the DB's wrist in the process. This guy's uber competitive, man. He's the guy who Lincoln Riley loves to move him around like a chess piece all over that offense. I think he's going to have a big day against this Notre Dame secondary.
Be great to watch, right? Christian Gray, Leonard Moore,
Yes,
play
sir.
a lot of man coverage against those receivers and that quarterback. Be a good matchup.
And we're going to have a lot more on that game coming up. Nick will take us inside the film room, talk a little bit more about some of the teams he said would be key in the USC-Notre Dame game. Meanwhile,